Alright, mission 11. The dig. This is the siege tank mission.
Yep.
So you start out with a few dudes. You can micro them pretty easily to not die. Especially since you have medics with you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so be sure to stim pack up.
At least we know what happened to the other expedition.
Yeah, not that it's really too necessary that all these guys live. I mean, it helps to put them in the barracks, I guess.
Those Protoss cannons will tear us a new one if we try to advance. Swan,
They shouldn't both be B words.
where are they?
It should be called, like,
Settle down, hotshot. They're coming.
the Marine Maker Factory and the bunker.
The Marine Maker Factory. This quick tip, you can hit that pylon with those siege tanks.
Oh.
So you take that pylon out, and then you can use your infantry to take them out. You know, save 10 seconds total, maybe.
Yeah, and this isn't a time condition.
Nope, not at all.
So...
But it took me a couple tries to get this one for the achievements. For the difficult achievements if you don't have flying units.
This is hard difficulty.
Hard
And
difficulty,
I do have flying. I have Vikings.
You have Vikings, I did not.
And I can call in the Super Vikings also.
Yep. So, the achievements for this, first one is just the dig. Complete all mission objectives on the dig. And what are the Oh, there's like 3 relics you have to destroy with the laser drill.
Super easy.
Super easy. And those are like marked on the map too.
They're marked on the map. And if you have Vikings, it's retardedly easy.
Second one is drill hard. Kill 20 enemy units with the laser drill.
You can't avoid that one. I don't see how you could like get away without killing 20 enemy units with the laser.
I bet you could if you just made nothing but siege tanks, didn't leave your base, and
That should be the achievement.
kill 0 enemies with the laser drill.
Yeah.
On insane difficulty.
Yeah.
And take out all of their base. Wow. Okay, just saying that makes me a little bit scared. And the third one, this has to be like Die Hard references, because
Yippee-ki-yay.
Yippee-ki-yay.
Mother effer.
Yeah, destroy 50 Protoss structures in the dig mission on hard difficulty. So, that one is challenging, because all of the Protoss structures are fairly well bunkered in, I guess.
They all have height advantage. They all have a lot of units up there. Yeah, it's tough. Even with the Vikings, it's not a walk in the park.
Well, if you don't have Vikings, the way I ended up doing it is I floated a bunker over the side of one of the bases so I could get a view, so I could get sight on their base.
And have the siege tanks just rip into it.
And then just had the siege tanks. No. The drill.
The drill.
So I went through probably 2 or 3 barracks because they would get like one void where I would catch them, and I couldn't kill it fast enough with the drill, and then it would just catch on fire, and I'd run slowly back to my SCV that I had waiting to repair it, but it wouldn't get there fast enough.
Yeah. So, just to get started off,
I guess we should talk about the basics of the mission before the complicated achievement.
2 bunkers. I start building siege tanks right off the bat. I just build enough Marines to fill the bunkers the rest of the way. Since I had those 2 Marauders, I put 1 in each bunker. I only had one Marauder. I'm going to build 1 more so that the concussive shells will slow down any enemies coming up the ramp, which is pretty helpful.
Yep.
And then I'm just going to pile up siege tanks on those 2 areas right above the ramp.
So, siege tanks, for those who are new to the game, they have 2 modes. They have normal attack mode.
Tank mode,
where they can move, and they have a fairly limited, not limited, but they have a much shorter range than when they are in siege mode, which is when they basically lock to the ground, do much more damage, and have a much larger range.
Now, one of the biggest problems with siege mode is if there's a Zergling next to your siege tank, it can't shoot it.
It cannot shoot
within a certain range.
Yeah, if there's a Zergling or a Zealot attacking your siege tank, you have to take it out of siege mode, which takes, like 2 seconds or so.
Mm-hmm.
And also, the siege tanks do splash damage, which is great for fighting, like when they're shooting infantry. But say you have 5 siege tanks kind of all spread out, and some Zerglings go for one of your siege tanks. Your siege tanks will shoot friendly, like there's friendly fire is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Your siege tanks. So
friendly splash damage.
Friendly splash damage. There's a lot of benefits to having siege tanks, but they're they can be tricky units to use. You have to really pay attention to them.
Mm-hmm.
Also, interesting fact. Now, it probably doesn't really affect this very much, but in multiplayer, it's helpful to know that siege tanks can actually shoot farther than they can see. So, if you are bunkering in your base, like, totally just turtling in your base, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Mm-hmm.
Put a turret, like, just in front of your siege tank.
To get that extra distance.
To get that little bit of extra distance so they can actually shoot a little bit further.
So, basically what you're saying is, they can shoot farther they can see, but they have to be able to see to shoot.
Right.
So something else has to be their
Providing
vision.
A little bit of vision. So even like a flying unit, if you have one flying unit just close to them, just a little bit in front of them, that'll help. Mm-hmm. Which is also helpful for taking out the bases. If you have like a wall of siege tanks outside of someone's base, but they can't see over that little ridge, you just have one flying unit there, and you can see into their base and just tear things apart.
Yeah. So right now I'm building a whole bunch of missile turrets.
Yeah.
There's 3 waves of air units that come, and they'll do some pretty good damage to you, especially since siege tanks cannot hit the air. So just build these missile turrets, especially since you can usually harvest more minerals than gas. You should have some extra minerals to put towards the missile turrets. And then as soon as you get control of the laser drill, I put it on control 1.
Okay.
Just to make things easier. You're going to be using it a lot. So you can use it to fire at enemies, and while you're firing, you're not drilling the goal. So it's just going to extend the length of your mission.
And the laser drill takes like a second or two to kind of turn towards its target. So you have to kind of plan ahead.
So the enemies you want to target are Immortals, Colossuses, and I do the Archon guys, whatever they're called.
Yep. Archons, that's what they're called.
Okay, because I know they're like warp and morph into Templar Archons and have some crazy...
Well,
don't you have to like
in
mold
multiplayer,
2 of them into one?
You take 2 Templar, it can be a Dark Templar and a High Templar, or 2 Dark Templars or 2 High Templars.
And they morph into one.
And then they morph into an Archon, which is like the energy ball.
Yeah.
And they have... Basically, all their health is in their shields. So... using a ghost with EMP is very effective, but of course you don't have that, so...
Right. And then you saw I just built a bunch of supply depots back the way I came.
Out the back door.
Yeah, you will not get attacked back there.
Why?
And it keeps your base clear.
I put supply depots back there eventually, but I used them first to cover my ramp.
Oh.
Just to completely block off the ramp.
Yeah, I didn't.
Think to do that?
Wouldn't do it again. I don't know. Didn't have a problem with anyone getting past the top.
Well, I didn't either, but I don't know, it's just like a habit that I always do.
Of bunkering in.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Cover that ramp so that they can't get up and you can shoot them from on top of the ramp. I mean, even as... you can't really do it as Zerg, but as Protoss, even in multiplayer, I do that.
Yeah.
Alert. Enemy air units on approach.
Yeah, I guess now that you can lower supply depots, that's a lot better tactic than it used to be.
Yes, exactly.
So, Feel free to use the drill on flying and ground units. And once you get past that first air attack, repair any missile turrets, any siege tanks that got killed, replace those. And now I've got my starport, and I'm going to start building Vikings. I'm going to build a reactor first, so that I could do twice as many. There's the Super Vikings.
Nice. I love how they fly in like they're phoenixes on fire.
Yeah. They're pretty badass. They're like humongous too.
Yeah, I like how the mercenary units are just a little bit different looking, just so they stand out a little bit.
Yeah.
Sir, I'm picking up the energy signatures of several Protoss relics in the area. I'm marking them on your map.
Get into the fight.
Well, if there's time, we can blast them free with a laser drill.